Nation of Fitin10, welcome to day 8 of the challenge. Numbers have been sent out. Pretty much all of you, your numbers have stayed the same, so don't worry if you didn't see a change in your numbers. Of course, cardio values have changed, intervals, number of intervals, etc. Those have changed. So take note of that. Reminder, by the end of tomorrow, I want you to make sure that you fill out your feedback form to me. And when it comes to your feedback, if you have questions and I don't get to them for a while, please don't think I'm ignoring you. I will get to them eventually. All right. So keep asking your questions week to week with your feedback form. Of course, if you want to ask me a question through Slack, just do that whenever you want. In terms of food journals, I am doing my best to get back to you. I don't want to say I'm doing my best. I'm going to vow to get back to you latest 48 hours after you sent me a message. Try to send me your food journals daily, okay? Or I don't want to say try, just do that, okay? It helps. It will help you a lot, okay? I regret to tell you that I did not record today's meeting, and I meant to. I totally meant to. I just didn't choose that option for today's meeting. So I deeply apologize to anybody who missed it. So in any event, we will be having another meeting in 2 weeks' time. So just stay tuned for that. We had a lot of great questions today, and I hope that people found it helpful. I'm sure it's helped you to some degree, okay? And so we're gonna keep going with this in a couple weeks' time. That is our third meeting coming up in 2 weeks. All right, so I talked about why calories matter when it comes to fat loss. And obviously I'm not talking about directly, because if we're talking about directly, then obviously less calories are better. This topic is actually, it really deserves a timeline, okay? But just in terms of right now, okay, today, lower calories are going to be better. But it's obviously, as time goes on, there's obviously downfalls if you have too low calories, which we've already talked about. There's a lot of indirect factors that play a part in your overall fat loss. And these things include things like sustainability and lean muscle mass and performance in the gym, etc. I don't want to give them all away yet, so let's get into them in a little more detail. But I did speak already about sustainability. I did talk about how really what we're looking for is a digging over time, a small amount of deficit every single day. All right, so it doesn't feel like you're really suffering. And of course, the maintenance of your metabolism so that we can get as much metabolic and efficiency as possible. Number 4, thyroid production. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with maintenance of metabolism. But thyroid production is just one of these major contributors to your metabolism. Although I would say it's probably the master contributor. We want to maintain optimal thyroid production. And to do this, we want to make sure that we have enough calories. The body will downregulate thyroid production or thyroid activity if it sees less calories, in particular less carbs. So this is another reason to have some carbs in your diet. Number 5 reason for having more rather than less calories in your diet. Okay, obviously we're talking happy medium here. Happy medium. Let's talk really when I'm talking about this again, just so you're clear. We're talking about small deficit. Small deficit, muscle mass maintenance. Okay, muscle mass is one of the number 1 contributors to your metabolism. And with a greater deficit, a greater calorie deficit with more of an energy gap, if you create a larger energy gap, you put muscle mass at waste, or you are at risk of losing muscle mass. Okay, we don't want to do that. We want to preserve as much lean muscle mass as possible. Now, this may not apply so much in the beginning, this may not apply so much to somebody who's starting out, but as you go through and as you become more acquainted with weight training and you go from let's say, beginner to an intermediate, this certainly plays much more of a role. Number 6, it is fuel for training. We want to have productive workouts. We want to have workouts where we're able to push ourselves, where we're fueled to have workouts that are going to allow us to perform well so that we can produce greater gains over time, or we can produce, gains is not the right word, so we can produce a better adaptation over time. And this includes recovery, okay? We've got to think about recovery, okay? So fueling the workouts and recovery. And this is all part of this long-term fat loss. Hydrating before I go work out. There is salt and electrolytes in this, by the way. Pink salt. Number 7. Protein sparing. Well, this kind of goes hand in hand with muscle mass maintenance, but not entirely. So, of course, I already went through that. It helps to maintain higher calories, or less of a deficit. We maintain muscle mass better, less risk of burning through muscle mass, less risk of burning through protein. And we need the protein for our ongoing recovery. We don't want to use protein as fuel. It's a very expensive fuel. Why would you pay, when you look at sources of protein strong foods, those are the most expensive foods. Generally speaking, those are the most expensive foods. Why do you want to use protein for energy, right? I mean, we might as well use fats and carbohydrates for energy. So let's keep some in there. Why would we use protein for energy? We don't want to do that, okay? We want to spare protein. All right, 7 minutes, let's get to the message of the day. On this day 8, and this is something you can repeat to yourself. It's one of my favorites. I love it. You can say it out loud, maybe as you're walking down the street in public. I am amazing. I can do anything. Positivity is a choice. I celebrate my individuality, and I am prepared to succeed. I am amazing. I can do anything. Positivity is a choice. I celebrate my individuality, and I am prepared to succeed. You are prepared to succeed, aren't you, right? And this is why you're going to put your best efforts in. You're going to put one foot in front of the other every single day. You're going to move forward. You're going to look for the areas that you can improve upon. You're going to keep doing that all the way through the challenge, and you're going to continue to progress, right? You're going to continue to progress because you are amazing, and you can do anything, and you can be positive, and you should welcome your individuality, okay? You should be proud of who you are. And of course, you are prepared to succeed. That's why you're in this challenge, right? All right, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. See you guys.